Shuriman! If you can hold the ball in a hand, you'll be a great basketball player!
Welcome back to the Slamdunk recap. The story picks up right where we left off in our previous recap, diving deeper into the thrilling journey of our favorite basketball team, Shohoku High School. Get ready to relive the excitement, the passion, and the intense rivalry as we follow the team's quest for victory in the midst of challenging opponents and gripping encounters. Join us as we unravel the continued saga of Slamdunk. In the fifth match of the preliminaries, Shohoku faces off against Shoyo, the second best team in the region. As the game kicks off, Shoyo's Giants take charge, steadily pushing the score higher and higher. Hanagata, Shoyo's powerhouse center, nails successful shots, putting Shohoku in a tight spot. Akagi, from Shohoku, seems to struggle against Hanagata's skills, and the score quickly tips in Shoyo's favor, reaching 11-0. The towering height of Shoyo's players weighs heavy on Shohoku, sapping their morale and strength. With Shoyo's defense proving a tough barrier for Shohoku's offense, Rukawa takes charge. Displaying his remarkable skills, Rukawa snatches the ball from Hanagata and dashes forward, stunning everyone by scoring an incredible 2 points, leaving the crowd in awe. Sakuragi isn't too pleased, blaming Rukawa for unnecessary showboating. But Rukawa remains resolute, stating he won't pass the ball to anyone else. Fired up by Rukawa's attitude, the Shohoku players are determined to showcase their own skills. When Shoyo launches their next attack, Akagi and Sakuragi step up, making brilliant blocks. Eager to outdo Rukawa, an overexcited Sakuragi attempts a shot with too much force, missing the basket. Meanwhile, Rukawa, displaying exceptional form, effortlessly pushes the ball through the net, scoring another impressive 2 points. Sakuragi's missed opportunity earns him a scolding from the seniors, inadvertently giving Rukawa another chance to shine. Fueled by jealousy, Sakuragi resolves to score more points than Rukawa. Ryota Miyagi faces a tough time against the towering Shoyo players, leaving the crowd to view him as an ill fit for the challenge. Matched against the much taller Ito, two audience members make derogatory comments about Miyagi's height, which irks Ada, who stands at the same height. Hanagata dismisses number 7, considering him no threat. However, Miyagi seizes the ball and swiftly attacks, zipping past the Shoyo defense in a flash. He then passes to Sakuragi, who executes a layup and scores. Sakuragi bursts into tears after finally scoring, envisioning everyone marveling at his supposed genius, only to realize they're actually praising Miyagi for the excellent pass. Feeling upset, Sakuragi lashes out, questioning why they're applauding Miyagi when he was the one who scored. Akagi steps in, towering over Sakuragi, and calmly explains that anyone in the position to receive Miyagi's exceptional pass would have scored, emphasizing the teamwork that led to the success. Sakuragi counters Akagi's statement by pointing out that Akagi hasn't scored any points in the game. In the audience, Ada contemplates his own abilities, feeling he doesn't possess Rukawa's height or Sakuragi's genius. Even within his Ryonen team, players like Uezumi and Sendo stand leagues above him. However, observing Miyagi's performance, Ada begins to recognize his own potential to become a formidable player. Coach Tauka adds insight, mentioning the significance of the point guard position in a team. According to him, a good PG needs to remain composed and possess exceptional passing skills, highlighting the pivotal role this position plays in the game. Tauka acknowledges Miyagi's prowess, comparing him to the likes of Maki from Kainan and Fujima Kenji from Shoyo in terms of skill. He admits that Ryonen lacks a PG of Miyagi's caliber. Witnessing Miyagi's consistent excellence on the court, Ada decides to shift his admiration from Sakuragi to Miyagi, recognizing him as his new role model. Despite facing tall Shoyo players, Miyagi pulls off an impressive move, scoring against the odds. He then challenges Fujima on the bench, pointing towards him. Shoyo, feeling the pressure, calls for a timeout. Tauka predicts that Shohoku's strong performance will soon compel Fujima to join the game, anticipating a shift in the match dynamics. Mitsui's three-pointer finally evens the score between Shohoku and Shoyo. A fan in the crowd reminisces about Mitsui's winning shot 3 years ago, playing as number 4 for Takeshin. Amidst the loud cheers for Mitsui's long-range shot, Sakuragi finds it strange as Mitsui has only scored 1 basket. Sakuragi notices that the crowd only acknowledges Akagi, Miyagi, Mitsui, and Rukawa as the main players for Shohoku, which leaves him feeling upset and envious. Meanwhile, Hanagata uplifts his team's spirits, rallying them forward. Through a combined effort, they push ahead, and Hanagata brilliantly scores a basket off a rebound. Mitsui charges forward with the ball and scores, but the referee calls it an offensive foul, dismissing the points. Mitsui realizes that Shoyo is resorting to playing dirty. Encouraged by Hanagata's instruction to show no mercy, Shoyo relentlessly presses on with their offense, adding more points. Coach Tauka reflects on Hanagata's brilliant strategy, attributing the team's success to his leadership. He also acknowledges Fujima's influence, despite him being on the bench, as a source of inspiration and high morale for the team. In an attempt to thwart Shoyo's play, Sakuragi commits his second foul to prevent Shoyo's number 9 from passing to Hanagata. As a player from Shoyo scores off a rebound, Sakuragi reminisces about a past moment when he was tasked with grabbing rebounds, with the score at 22-31 in favor of Shoyo. As Shoyo gears up for another attack, Sakuragi finds encouragement in Haruka-san's cheers. He recalls her advice about the significance of rebounding, how it can elevate one's popularity and make them a standout player. Determined, Sakuragi sets his sights on dominating the rebounds. With just 30 seconds left in the first half, Coach Tauka emphasizes the importance of narrowing the point gap to less than 10, aiming to maintain team morale and alleviate pressure in the upcoming second half. In the dwindling seconds, Hanagata finally makes a shot, but Akagi deflects it. Shoyo's players attempt a rebound, but Sakuragi, playing exceptionally, snatches the ball, proudly declaring himself the king of rebounds. The second half commences, and Shohoku shines right from the start, propelled by Sakuragi's exceptional rebounding. They steadily narrow the points gap, with the score now standing at 34-35. Coach Tauka observes that Sakuragi has been the game changer this half. His mastery of rebounds and unpredictable maneuvers has propelled Shohoku back into contention. Meanwhile, Hanagata attempts to score after gaining possession from Sakuragi, but Akagi intervenes brilliantly, snatching the ball from Hanagata. He swiftly passes it to Rukawa, whose lightning speed helps him score a fantastic 2 points, granting Shohoku their first lead in the game, edging ahead of Shoyo by 1 point. Kainan's number 10, Kyoto, ecstatic at Shohoku's turnaround, leaps and dashes to inform his teammates. However, in his overexcitement, he mistakenly bursts into Ryonen's dressing room, loudly proclaiming Shohoku's lead. This unexpected intrusion shocks everyone present. Annoyed by Kyoto's self-centered boasting about being the best number 10, the Ryonen team chooses to disregard him and instead opt to watch the remainder of the game. With both Kainan and Ryonen teams now witnessing the match, Kenji Fujima seizes the moment. He requests a change in the team lineup and finally steps onto the court, prepared to lead his team to victory. Coach Tauka contemplates the significant impact Fujima's arrival will have on Shoyo's performance, recognizing the team's newfound ideal formation. With Fujima, a point guard like Miyagi but considered unmatched, they possess an exceptional setup. Fujima effortlessly maneuvers across the court, showing clear purpose as he dribbles the ball. Without breaking a sweat, he skillfully scores a basket, eliciting enthusiastic cheers from the crowd. As the game tightens with a score of 41-40, Fujima, resolute, charges ahead with the ball. Miyagi positions himself to thwart Fujima's scoring attempt, analyzing that Fujima won't pass but will go for the basket due to their height difference. His prediction comes true as Fujima leaps and releases the ball early, catching Miyagi off guard and scoring the basket. Determined to intervene, Sakuragi leaps from behind, but in an immature move, collides with both Fujima and Miyagi. The trio tumbles down, with Fujima caught between Miyagi and Sakuragi in an unintentional collision. Amid the dispute over Sakuragi's foul, Shoyo accuses him of an intentional move while Sakuragi insists it was accidental. Regardless, Fujima is granted a free ball, easily converting it into free points for Shoyo's advantage. Observing Mitsui's struggle due to his lengthy break from the court, Coach Anzai calls for a timeout as Shoyo leads by 6 points. During the break, Anzai uplifts the team's spirits, instilling a fresh determination in them. Akagi instructs Sakuragi and Rukawa to handle numbers 7 and 8, leaving Hanagata to him. On the opposing side, Fujima allocates specific roles to his team members and, upon Heisukawa's request, assigns him to mark Mitsui. Shoyo's analyst provides insight into the number of fouls committed by Shohoku players, prompting them to strategize and exploit Sakuragi's fouls, considering he already has 3 against them. Heisukawa, who previously faced Mitsui in junior high, marks Mitsui as the team adopts a box-and-one strategy. As the game resumes, Kagura considers substituting Mitsui due to apparent fatigue, but Anzai intervenes, knowing Mitsui won't agree to be replaced. Simultaneously, Akagi shares a strategy with Mitsui, emphasizing the need to expand Shoyo's defensive coverage. He encourages Mitsui, stating that they'll make every effort to pass the ball to him, relying on his expertise in making 3-point shots. Sakuragi urges Akagi to pass him the ball, but Akagi points out that his shooting skills aren't yet at their best. Instead, they rely on Sakuragi to dominate the rebounds. Miyagi assures him that after this game, his rebounding will become the talk of the town, sparking excitement in Sakuragi. With 10 minutes remaining, Shohoku faces escalating challenges. Hisashi Mitsui struggles to score a 3-pointer, placing all the weight on Rukawa's shoulders. Anzai reflects on the pivotal roles of Sakuragi and Mitsui in securing victory. He emphasizes Sakuragi's crucial rebounds and unorthodox play, while stressing Mitsui's essential need for successful three-pointers to clinch the win. Anzai recognizes Mitsui's exhaustion but asserts that Mitsui cannot afford to be taken out of the game. Attempting a three-pointer, Mitsui's shot hits the board but misses the mark. Both Hanagata and Sakuragi leap for the rebound, with Sakuragi shining through brilliantly this time, snatching the ball. He dashes forward, but a miscalculation leads to him accidentally hitting Hanagata's face with his elbow, resulting in his fourth offensive foul. Hanamichi Sakuragi teeters on the edge of fouling out. One more foul and he's out of the game. Despite Hayakawa persistently marking him and their rivalry escalating, Mitsui's performance improves as he continues to play, drawing inspiration from his past experiences. Hisashi Mitsui finds renewed energy to lead his team. In a remarkably short span, Mitsui shines by scoring 9 consecutive points with his impressive shooting. His contributions narrow the score to 58-55, bringing Shohoku within 3 points of Shoyo. However, the other crucial player for victory, Sakuragi, struggles to showcase his abilities freely, facing the imminent risk of fouling out with just one more foul. Mitsui's tenacious spirit enables Shohoku to equalize the score. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, the game is deadlocked. Hisashi Mitsui has enhanced his effectiveness throughout the game, and as the match reaches its peak, Mitsui successfully ties the game at 60-60. However, Mitsui, needing a break, is substituted by Kimanabu Kagure. Sakuragi faces the imminent threat of being dismissed from the game due to accumulating fouls. Fearful of fouling out, he hesitates to aggressively contest for the ball. However, after absorbing a few cutting remarks from Rukawa, Sakuragi is ignited with determination and fiery motivation. From Shohoku's viewpoint, and specifically Sakuragi's perspective, the critical juncture of their basketball journey approaches. With just 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, Sakuragi has racked up 4 fouls, while Akagi and Rukawa each have 2. Maki in the audience notes that it's reached a live or die stage, entirely reliant on the willpower of both teams. Kyoto expresses a strong urge to step onto the court himself. Hanagata takes a shot, but it fails to go in. Sakuragi seizes the rebound. As he lands, he inwardly muses that he is truly the genius with the kanji for genius symbolically behind him, ending his imitation of a tortoise. Miyagi confronts Fujima, passing the ball to Rukawa, who executes a layup. The ball teeters on the edge briefly before dropping in, leaving the score at 60-62, with Shohoku in the lead. In the midst of the game's tension, Fujima observes the unexpected synergy between Sakuragi and Rukawa, feeling uncertain about how to respond. As the duo from Shohoku engage in their own dynamic, the Shoyo team looks to their captain for direction, finding Fujima momentarily at a loss. Maki expresses concern over Fujima's leadership abilities seemingly faltering in this crucial moment. On the Ryonin side, Sendo acknowledges the considerable improvement in Sakuragi and Rukawa's performance. Meanwhile, Data passionately expresses worry about Shohoku's strength, indicating that they've become a more formidable team compared to their previous encounter. His frustration is palpable, evident in his agitated demeanor. Coach Tauka calmly notes that despite Shohoku's improvements, they still have weaknesses. On the court, Kagure passes to Sakuragi, who aggressively moves forward, aiming to showcase his skills against Rukawa. Fujima urgently directs Hanagata to intervene and stop Sakuraga's attempt, knowing that even if he gets a free throw, it won't succeed. Hanagata leaps to block while Sakuragi goes for a dunk. The atmosphere intensifies, with thunder-like sounds echoing. The thunderous sound continues as Sakuragi successfully executes a slam dunk. The stadium falls into a momentary silence before erupting in cheers. However, the referee intervenes, disallowing Sakuraga's shot due to a foul, resulting in his expulsion from the game. Despite this, the audience shows their appreciation with applause and cheers as Sakuragi leaves the court. Mitsui, with a smile, acknowledges the cheers, realizing they're even louder for Sakuragi. Ayako compliments Sakuragi on his slam dunk, inquiring about his feelings, to which he responds with a sense of detachment. Seated, Sakuragi becomes introspective, noting the sound of his own heartbeat. The game persists, and despite Fujima's attempt at a three-pointer, Kagure manages to disrupt the shot with his height advantage. With little time remaining, Fujima urges an aggressive push. Hanagata takes the final shot as the clock dwindles. The ball whirls around the rim before ultimately rolling outwards as the buzzer sounds, sealing Shohoku's narrow victory by 2 points. Tauka reflects on the changing tides, marking the end of an era dominated by Maki and Fujima, signaling the dawn of a new chapter. Meanwhile, devastated by their loss, the Shoyo players are left in tears, grappling with defeat as their tournament journey concludes. Sakuragi hears news that Taizono is up against Kainan and likely facing an uphill battle. Meanwhile, at Taizono, Oda is driven to practice rigorously, fueled by the desire to surpass Sakuragi. Despite injuring his foot, Yoko, the one who famously rejected Sakuragi 50 times, expresses concern for Oda, but he dismisses her worries. Later that evening, Yoko coincidentally encounters Sakuragi. At the same time, Haruko also crosses paths with them by chance. Sakuragi feels overwhelmed and enlists Yohei and friends to whisk Haruko away from the situation. Yoko remains quiet, yet Sakuragi senses her distress. The following morning, Sakuragi spots Haruko sitting alone in class and eagerly assumes she's concerned about the previous night's incident. In reality, Haruko is absorbed in sketching a picture of Rukawa, lost in her usual daydreams. Glancing towards the doorway as Rukawa passes by, Sakuragi, thinking Haruko is looking at him, tries to impress her by straightening up. Sakuragi catches sight of Rukawa, murmuring his name, which prompts laughter from the Sakuragi Gundam. Frustrated, he loudly exclaims, Rukawa accompanied by wild arm gestures and pounding his chest. Later, he and his gang head to Taizono to investigate the situation. Upon spotting Oda in the gym, they realize he's injured his foot. Oda confides in Sakuragi, expressing his ambition not only to surpass Sakuragi, but also to become the champion of all Japan. In response, Sakuragi advises him that to achieve that dream, he must first defeat Kainan. Despite Yoko's concern, Oda remains adamant about playing against Kainan and advancing to the finals to face Sakuragi. Determined to honor his promise to Sakuragi, Oda prepares for the challenging battle ahead. Meanwhile, the exhaustive overnight training leaves Sakuragi utterly drained. The highly anticipated match between Taizono and Kainan kicks off, but Sakuragi misses it entirely as he oversleeps in the gym. Despite Kainan fielding only 2 starters throughout the entire game, their prowess seems enough to handle their opponents. However, Taizono faces multiple challenges beyond the minimal player count from Kainan. One significant hurdle is Oda's injury, known only to Yoko and Sakuragi, which visibly impacts his performance on the court. This injury remains a hidden concern for everyone else and is evidently affecting Oda's ability to play at his best. Taizono initiates the game with a decent performance, but Oda's foot issues resurface, causing a decline in his gameplay. His condition worsens to the point where he collapses during the match, prompting a substitution. However, upon Sakuragi's arrival at the scene, he passionately urges Oda on, reigniting his determination. Inspired by Sakuragi's encouragement, Oda rises to finish the game despite his struggles. Despite their efforts, Kainan emerges victorious. Following the match, Oda and Yoko have a heartfelt conversation. Oda confides in Yoko, revealing that his true dream isn't solely about becoming the champion in Japan but rather witnessing her happiness. In the district finals of the Inter-High tournament, Shohoku has triumphed in 5 consecutive matches to reach this stage. On the opening day, they face Kainan University High School, a team that has clinched the district championship and secured entry into the national championships for the past 16 years without fail. Kainan's spirit remains as high as ever this year, determined to continue their winning streak. Standing against them in the district finals is Shohoku, intensifying the focus and attention on this pivotal match. The game has kicked off, igniting an electric atmosphere in the stadium. Sakuragi dominates the rebounds effortlessly, forcing Maki himself to briefly guard him. Despite Sakuragi's impressive rebounding, he commits a traveling foul, leaving him visibly upset. However, Akagi steps in to offer encouragement and support. The spectators are captivated by Shohoku's remarkable performance on the offensive end, anticipating an epic showdown to unfold.
Hi guys! The first part of Slamdunk was fun, wasn't it? Basketball's great! Let's play it together!